All right, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been banging your head against the wall trying to boost that body weight strength, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're completely transforming your push-up game. We're taking a really structured, step-by-step approach to absolute mastery. So let's just jump right in, shall we?
So, we've all been there, right? You drop down, start a set, you're feeling strong, but then, boom, you hit this invisible wall. Maybe it's at rep 8, maybe it's 10 on a really good day. But suddenly, your form just breaks down into absolute chaos. Your arms start shaking like crazy, and every single rep feels like an absolute fight for your life. And honestly, the most frustrating part, it feels like the harder you try, the less you actually progress.
Well, here is the crucial insight. Just trying harder is not the answer. Seriously, banging out sloppy reps day after day is just a one-way ticket to exhaustion. What you actually need is a clear, calculated strategy, a system that's going to take you from those struggling, shaking reps all the way up to 50 clean, flawless push-ups. Okay, let's quickly look at our roadmap for today. We're covering 5 key areas. 1. The push-up plateau. 2. Fix your foundation. 3. Smart scaling and overload. 4. The gravity rule. And 5. Perfecting your program.
All right, section 1, the push-up plateau. Let's break this cycle. Moving on to section 2, fix your foundation. It's time to master that proper form.
Now, this is where we see the ultimate progress killer. It's brilliantly described in our source material as the shrimp seizure. You know the look. Hips sagging down like a broken bridge, hands squished way too close together, and elbows flaring out like chicken wings. Honestly, that is just a back and shoulder injury waiting to happen. On the flip side, we have proper form. Your core is squeezed tight, elbows are tucked nicely at a 45-degree angle, and your hands are placed perfectly just outside shoulder width.
And a huge part of fixing that form comes down to this one realization. A push-up is not just a chest exercise. It is a full body movement. If your back is arching and you look like a broken accordion, well, it's because your unstable core is giving you away. Your core is quite literally snitching on your lack of foundational strength.
So, how do we build that ironclad foundation? The source recommends these 3 specific core builders: planks, ab wheel rollouts, and hollow holds. If you do these 2 to 3 times a week for 3 sets each, you're training your core in the exact position you use during a push-up. You're building that critical anti-extension strength that keeps your body moving as one solid, unbroken piece. Next up is section 3, smart scaling and overload. Let's talk about leveling up those reps. So scaling is simply adjusting the difficulty of the movement. Think about it using this deadlift analogy from the source, which I love. You wouldn't walk into a gym and try to deadlift 500 pounds when you can barely pick up your heavy groceries, right? So it's completely absurd to force yourself to do regular push-ups if you haven't built up the necessary base strength yet. We really need to gamify this process. If you can't do 5 clean, regular push-ups yet, start at step 1, elevated push-ups. Put your hands on a bench or a sturdy table. But here's the catch, you have to clear this level by hitting 4 sets of 15 reps. Once you unlock that achievement, boom, you move to step 2, kneeling push-ups. Clear 4 sets of 15 there, and only then do you unlock step 3, regular push-ups. Do not try to jump straight to elite mode when you haven't even cleared level 1. Now, once those regular push-ups start feeling easy, your body gets lazy. To force it to adapt week over week, you absolutely have to trigger progressive overload. You've got to change the stimulus. You can use option 1, which is just adding a single extra rep. Option 2, add a whole extra set to bump up the volume. Or option 3, move to a harder variation. The rule is simple. Every single session must be slightly harder than the last. And for those of you who have totally conquered the basics, here are the elite mode variations to keep driving that overload. We're talking feet-elevated push-ups, resistance band push-ups, or throwing on a backpack for weighted push-ups. A seriously incredible strategy here is to start your workout with the hardest variation you can manage and then drop down to an easier one right after. This builds maximal strength and endurance at the exact same time. Moving right along to section 4, the gravity rule. Let's look at your body weight mechanics. All right, the golden rule of bodyweight exercises is pretty blunt. Gravity doesn't care. Unlike dumbbells, where you can just grab a 20-pound weight off the rack, push-ups force you to lift your entire body. So, carrying extra body fat means you're basically putting yourself on hard mode from day 1. It's kind of like trying to learn push-ups while wearing a weighted vest that you never even ask for. But hey, Here is the good news, and the math here is honestly surprising. Dropping just 10 to 15 pounds of excess fat will massively increase your reps. Because you're moving less weight with the exact same amount of baseline strength, your push-up numbers are going to skyrocket without you actually needing to gain any more raw muscular power. Pretty cool, right? And that brings us to Section 5, perfecting your program. It's time to structure your routine. First things first, we have to challenge that pure bodyweight warrior mindset. Look, if you really want your push-up numbers to explode, heavy weightlifting is mandatory. By incorporating a heavy pressing protocol like bench presses or dumbbell presses twice a week in that 6 to 12 rep range, you can overload your chest and triceps with way more resistance than push-ups alone. More weight equals more strength, and more strength, that makes your push-ups feel significantly lighter. Next up is neurological adaptation. Honestly, that's really just a fancy way of saying practice makes you less terrible. Frequency really matters here. You need to practice the movement 3 to 4 times a week to make your nervous system efficient. The more you practice, the faster your muscles actually learn the timing, and the smoother the whole movement feels. To put that into practice, here is a perfect 3-day rotation to keep you from stalling out or just getting bored. On Monday, it's strength day. Hit those hard variations with lower, heavier effort reps. Wednesday is volume day. Focus on regular push-ups with higher reps for some controlled fatigue. And Friday? That's endurance day. Use the easier variations, but push yourself for maximum reps. This rotating stimulus keeps your body constantly guessing and adapting. Okay, whatever you do, please heed this warning. Do your push-ups first. Seriously, never leave them for the very end of your workout. If you try to max out when you are already exhausted and navigating the existential dread of 47 other exercises, your numbers are going to look terrible, and you'll be wondering why you aren't improving. Do them fresh. Do them when you have energy and you can still remember your own name. Finally, there is a fantastic rule to live by from the source material. Track your workouts, tattoo it on your forehead if you have to. Absolute consistency and meticulous tracking of every single set, rep, and variation is the guaranteed way to see those numbers go up. You simply cannot improve what you do not measure. So you have the blueprint now. The question is, are you ready to track your first set? Because if you can engineer your way to 50 flawless push-ups using this calculated strategy, it really begs the question, what other physical limits are you capable of shattering next?